We're back. Beasts of the Mesozoic, Tyrannosaur Series, Wave 3. Been a long time coming. Let's find out if it was worth the wait. Hello and welcome to Ruckosaurus Rex, the channel where we review and discuss all things dinosaur and other prehistoric animals. How are you guys doing? Hope you all are doing well. I hope you all tuned into my unboxing. And if not, you can go over there and see what's in store in the near and immediate future. Or if not, you can just keep it real right here. What we're going to do, well, you see what we're going on. We have got the Beasts of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur Series Wave 3 on deck. We're starting off with Daspletosaurus Series. Yes, indeed. This is a company. The name of the company is Creative Beast Studio. For those that need a recap, and they specialize in making action figures, as in posable, articulated figures of prehistoric animals, of dinosaurs. And they had a series of raptors, the Raptor series. They had the Ceratopsian series, and currently in finishing off, technically, is the Tyrannosaur series. After this is done, David Silva, the founder, creator, and mastermind behind this great company, they're going in a different direction. They're still going to stick with making prehistoric animals, dinosaurs in particular, but the series modus operandi is done. There's going to be a bunch of randos. Anybody that's been following, you know what's coming down the line. They just had a Kickstarter, Cyberzoic, dinos, and other prehistoric animals, one in particular, saber-toothed cat, Smilodon, and a few others. But yeah, they're not going in any type of niche dinosaur clades or families. It's going to be totally random. So stay tuned for that. As for this, you see what it is. We've got Daspletosaurus Series. You see the packaging. If you know anything about Beasts of the Mesozoic, you now know that they have the artwork that you see there on our right is new style. The sleeves are gone. They now have packaging that's actually part of the. That has artwork that's actually part of the packaging. Excuse me. I'm excited about this, so you all have to forgive me. And it looks great. The artwork is spectacular. This is great right there. Looking at that, the Daspy, that's what I nickname everything. And it's looking real good there. You could see within the packaging, we've got the figure and the accessories. You can see the feet and the tail that come with it. There's a base back there. And customary with Beasts of the Mesozoic, there is a backdrop, as you can see. Looking at the top, we've got the Beast of the Mesozoic dinosaur action figure logo. I think the dinosaur action figure part may be new. I don't recall seeing that part before, but we will see. And then we turn to one side. It's got Beasts of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur Series. It states the species depicted, and within the packaging, Daspletosaurus Series, 1/18 scale. Turning that back up and turning to the rear, we have a picture, some toy art of the Daspy. Below, we have the other 6 figures that are in this wave. And yes, we will go through all of them. I've got all of them, and I'm very excited about that. So we're probably going to do it. In fact, we will. We're going to basically go through the figures the same way I revealed them at the unboxing video. So you can prepare yourselves for a little guy coming up next. But for now, we've got the little bio readout. as was customary with all of the figures, and it goes as follows. Bulky and powerful, Daspletosaurus was the top predator of its time, existing about 10 million years prior to its close relative T-Rex. Despite its dominant position in the food chain, with Daspletosaurus preying on dinosaurs such as Albertoceratops, it may have coexisted with another large tyrannosaur, Gorgosaurus, in some instances. Daspletosaurus had the typical small forelimbs, however, they were proportionately long when compared to similar tyrannosaurs. Over the years, various species have been assigned to the genus Daspletosaurus, including D. turosus, D. wilsoni, and D. horneri. And as always, we get stats. The length, 9 meters or 30 feet. The weight in kilograms, 2495. It's really 5,500 pounds, meaning essentially just under 2.5 tons. Location, Horseshoe Canyon Formation, Southwest Canada. Time period, 71 to 68 million years ago in the late Cretaceous. It was named by Henry Farfield Osborn in 1905. And it talks about the features. This is a 20-foot long action figure. 22 points of articulation, optional fixed pose, standing legs, 3 sets of interchangeable feet, posable wire in the end tail segment, detailed base with metal foot pin, some assembly required. They're referring to the tail, which you would have to install because they can't fit the whole 20 inches in this package, and so the tail detaches. Just like with previous video reviews of the beasts of the Mesozoic, I will, of course, already have the tail attached when next we meet. I'm going to get our figure out of packaging and install the tail. It'll probably require some water or some heat of some kind, and I'll be back. But while I'm away, you guys can like the video and definitely subscribe if you have not done so. So I will see you guys momentarily. Now let's take a look at what comes with our Daspletosaurus. We'll start with the backdrop that you all saw behind Daspy in packaging, and you see what we got there. Usually, if not all the time, the backdrops, which are included with all of the ceratopsian and Tyrannosaur, and I believe even the Raptor series, they all came with backdrops, and most of them have been of environments, and they've all been very, very nice. This is no different at all. Though I will say that this looks almost like it's just an illustration artwork, whereas a lot of the others looked like, I knew that was artwork too, but it looked like it looked more realistic than this particular one. Still a nice looking backdrop though. As far as everything else that comes with our Daspletosaurus, we'll talk about the base, as you can see right there. And I believe we've seen this base before from the previous waves. It's a 2-piece base. It's held together with an H-clip, as you can see there. You could remove it and take this rocky part away. It's got a peg so you can stick the Daspy's, one of the Daspy's static feet in, the ones that, the legs that came out of packaging. You could use that to keep him in place. And you see what we got here. It's like painted with a moss ground, and the rocky part looks like it's kind of like sandstone. So very nice base. We'll set that aside, and while we're setting that aside, we will show the other thing that comes with the card. And this card, you see, it's got that that artwork of well, there's a couple of Daspletosaurs in this picture, and one of them, at least, if they didn't tag team the prey animal, which looks to be a ceratopsian. I'm quite sure it is. then this Daspletosaurus took it down by itself, and then the other one is in the background, probably going to try to horn in. You turn to the rear, it'll have all that information that I read off in the back. The other accessories that we get are the additional legs. These are the articulated legs. So I'll set one down. They both operate the same way. You have articulation at the ankle and on theropods and other bipedal dinosaurs. That up here is the ankle. So you have articulation there. You see you can bend it forward and back. It also swivels. So you have that action going too. And then the foot itself can go down, go up a little bit. They do have pivot in there, and they swivel. So that's good. They don't have holes. That's strictly for the static feet. So what we do also get, and you saw that in packaging too, are the extra feet. Since we're talking about feet, you get a pair of closed-toed feet, which is great for posing when you have one of the legs up off the ground, and then you have a pair of splayed toes that are lifting off the ground. So these two look great. These two sets of feet would work great if you're trying to demonstrate your Daspletosaurus walking or running. And now for the main event, the Daspletosaurus itself. As you can see, I've got this is just how it came out of packaging. Sounds the tail. I, of course, equipped the tail, installed that, so we've got our Dasby in all its glory standing there. And yes, as you can see, it's standing on its own on those static legs. And we will a little bit later see if I can get this figure to stand on its own with the articulated legs. That'll be a little bit more problematic than with this. You do have to toil around with the static legs to get the proper balance for your figure to stand up. But as you can see, it is doing, it's not leaning up against anything. My hand there, can attest. It's standing there on its own. It's about, it's 20 inches long, as stated in the specs, and this is 1/18 scale, and that calculates out to a 30-foot animal, which is the upper range of what Daspletosaurus grew to. Daspletosaurus is something else in terms of, I don't want to say how popular it was. I'll just say how prosperous it was, how numerous they were. They had to have been a royal terror back then, because more than any other tyrannosaur or theropod, I believe, for that matter, this guy was everywhere and fed on everything. Ceratopsians, who I've always said before, wherever there's a ceratopsian, there's a tyrannosaur, but usually it's a different kind of tyrannosaur. But check out the list of all of the ceratopsians that Daspletosaurus was around. He was around Albertoceratops, Avaceratops, Centrosaurus, Chasmosaurus, Ionosaurus, Monoclonius, Pachyrhinosaurus, Pentaceratops, Spiculipius, Strachosaurus, Wendoceratops, and possibly Xenoceratops. Now, here's the thing. All of these that are mentioned are BOTM figures. And I have all except Monoclonius, because Monoclonius was a fan's choice exclusive, I think, like a Kickstarter. And as my series of Ceratopsian reviews plainly states, I was late to the party, so I don't have that one. But I do have all of the others. And I pulled out a couple, but I'm bandying back and forth with showing Daspletosaurus up against all those guys. That'll make for kind of a longer video, but I'm having some fun with these Beasts of the Mesozoic figures, and Daspletosaurus being the first one, and I'm loving the look on it. I may just go ahead and do that, but we will see. Taking a look at our Daspletosaurus up close, that skull, of course, you know how we do. First thing I want to talk about is the eye. And I'm hoping that, I think right there you guys can see it pretty well. But the eyes are blue with black pupils, but more than that, they have the wet look. And talking about a very small little detail on a small set of eyes, but I think that's a big deal right there because for the realism's sake, that just looks great to me. It looks absolutely great. As far as the rest, you got those, you got the crests over the eyes, which are, more or less standard on Albertosaurine Tyrannosaurs. And then going down, you got that boss, and you see all of the ridges there on that boss. It looks very nice. It's got a wash. It's kind of like a dark brown on the edges, but the boss itself has a lighter wash on it. So that's pretty cool. Looking at it straight on, and as always, you got to look at it straight on to check out that bino vision. And looking at the mouth, you see that it has lips, so that's cool too. You got that color there. It looks like some chocolate, if you will, was just poured over his snout, and it just, it's dripping on either side. So let me turn it to the other side so you can see what I'm talking about. It's pretty cool, and he's got the spots there. The great thing is they're not symmetrical. They're asymmetrical, so they're not, they don't, it's not like they're twins. So that's a great thing. As you can see from the mouth, it closes tightly. I'm going to open it. The jaw is articulated. You got some nice coloration there for the flesh connecting. And let's get back over to this side. I think I get better light with this side. You can see the tongue. The tongue is also articulated. Looking down in the down there at the lower mandible, jaw, that nice wet look. You got the teeth all nicely done. Turning it up so you can look into its maw. You see the palate up top. It's got the openings, the nasal passageway. Looks very, very, very nice. Close the jaw back. You've got the ear canal there. We've got the sleeve that BOTM uses for the necks on their theropods. And then you've got the color. We're going to start here right at the back of the skull. And I'll look up top first. We've got a myriad of colors there. We've got blacks and browns just going along the ridges of that neck. And then going down, you've got striping, vertical type striping, browns, blacks, then a reddish kind of brown, and then it gets tannish and then beige as it goes down to the throat area. And then you've got all those nice wrinkles going on. Once again, looking at the top, it looks as though dark chocolate was poured on its back and it just started dripping down. You got wrinkles on the belly. The underbelly, you got the scales, and there's a wash in there to bring those scales out. Then you look at the legs. You got the black and then that reddish brown. You go down there, you see it two-tone there. Looking at the front of the feet, you've got the scoots there, the toes painted black. The same thing with the forelimbs. They're painted black, and you see the size of those arms. And remember, this is this is Daspletosaurus, and it had proportionally, when it comes to the Albertosaurine Tyrannosaurs, the longest arms, body for body. So if you match this up against an Albertosaurus or a Gorgosaurus, its arms should be longer because those two dinos were about the same length, though they were, probably not as robust, or maybe more so, depending on which one you're talking about. Then you've got the tail. Still got that dark brown. It's very dark brown, almost black, going down, and once again, it looks like it's just poured down. And as you go further down the tail, it starts to encompass more of the tail until it tapers out. And you still have that brown, but it's down to about less than half when you see that. And you get the same thing going on there at the other side. Everything's just looking real nice. More of those wrinkles. Very, very nice. That throat area, it's kind of greenish there. I should have mentioned that before. You've got a little greenish, like a lime green hue going along there too. So you've got a myriad of colors. Very, very nice. Very nice. Speaking of the colors, if I didn't mention it already, the inspiration for the colors for this particular, I've got him in a T-pose. Now, I'm not going to worry about it because I don't want to mess around with getting him to stand again. So he's T-posed right now. He was not T-posed earlier. I think that needs to be mentioned. But the color scheme here is based on the Ansingi leaf chameleon. Once again, based, not totally taken from, it's inspired by. So, and I think the inspiration is good. I love this color scheme on this particular figure. And you know what? I set him up there talking about he's in the T-pose, getting so ahead of myself, I forgot to show you guys his articulation scheme. That's the least I could do, since this is the first that I'm reviewing in this wave. Don't need to forget that. If I forget with the others, it's no biggie, because they all share the same articulation scheme. So we have to do at least the first one. So I already showed you about the jaw and the tongue. The head moves independent of itself, so you can go left, right, up, and kind of down, and you can rotate it. So you got that. Then in conjunction with the neck can go down, and the neck can go up, as you can see, and you can turn left and right with the neck, and you can twist that as well. The arms, they can rotate. They do flail out. So let me turn them so you can see that. They do flail out. At the elbows, you have articulation there, and those swivel, and you have articulation at the wrists, and they swivel, though I don't know why we want to have those swivel, but they do if you want to. You may want to demonstrate it having a broken hand or something. The torso can go down, way down. That's crazy. That is crazy. You do the angle right. I'm loving that. That's crazy. I think that's the furthest I've gotten any Tyrannosaurus torso to bend over. It can go up that far. It can left and right it. And you can get some rotation going on there. The hind limbs, they splay out. They can go forward. They can go back decently amount. You've got articulation in the knees, and they swivel as well. And that's all you're going to get, because these are the static legs that came out of packaging. The tail, it can go left and right there where you connect it up at, and up and down, and you can rotate it. And you get the same with all the sections. When you get to that third section, you get the same, plus it is bendy wire. So you've got that going on. And that, my friends, is the articulation scheme on our Daspletosaurus. Here's a shot of our Daspletosaurus with the articulated legs. As you could see, I think you can see that they're not, parallel. I've got one behind the other, and ankle bent, and there's no props. His tail, I'm sure you can see that in the shot. His tail is off the ground, and he is standing. So it is possible. It is possible. That's a great shot. I'm going to have to take a snap of that. And so you can see how large a Daspletosaurus was up against a human being, we have our 1/18 scale stand-in Robert Muldoon. And Daspletosaurus may not have been Tyrannosaurus Rex, but pretty sizable. I decided to only go with a couple comparisons. There'll be other dino comparisons as we go along. It's just Daspletosaurus, the list of who it encountered is too extensive. It'll make this video way longer than it needs to be. I'm still going to do it for myself, but you guys won't see it. But anyway, here we have Daspletosaurus against one of his buddies from back in the day, Tyrannosaurus, and they look like they've had this conversation before, don't they? And now you see why I went so hard for the Chasmosaurus. We got him right here with Daspletosaurus. I got Chasmo just in time for this wave to arrive and be able to display it with Daspletosaurus. So that was yet another reason why I wanted to kick off this series of reviews with Daspy, because of my recent acquisition of Chasmo. And yep, and it was definitely worth it. What do you guys think? All right, guys, I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I've had fun with this for sure. Opening up the Beast of the Mesozoic Tyrannosaur Series Wave 3 with Daspletosaurus Tyrosus, and I had a great time. This figure is banging. And I was going to pose it. Anybody's been following me, you know I like to end my reviews with some kind of pose. And usually it's just the subject matter by itself. But I figured this bears having an addendum. And here it is right here. That Tyrannosaurus that the Despy had a conversation with, a disagreement with. Well, the Tyrannosaurus was ended up on the wrong side of that convo, as you could see here. And I was just playing around, and then I was like, nah, I'm going to end the video with this shot, because I don't know what you guys think. This shot is banging. Let me know down in the comments below, but I'm getting ahead of myself with the channel hard sell. Beast of the Mesozoic by Creative Beast Studios, Tyrannosaur Series Wave 3. This is the Daspletosaurus Tyrosus, based on the Ansingi, or Ansingi, however you pronounce that, leaf chameleon. The color scheme is banging. The articulation is all that. Yeah, I'm fawning all over it, drooling all over it, and you get yours, you will understand why, for sure. Articulation is on point. This is, I think because I heated the entire thing before doing the video, that I got all the joints loose, so articulation is not a problem at all. Trust me, believe. Just heat the whole thing up. Don't even try to force the issue. You know, you get it. You're excited to mess with your figure when you get it out, and you want to just start posing it. I feel you. Get the joints loose first. Then you will have a great time. Look at the range on the neck on this Tyrannosaur. I don't know if I've had better range. I'm going to have to investigate and check things out, but this is great right here. I'm loving this pose. I'm going to hate having to take it down. This is banging. I don't know what you guys think, but hey, I believe you guys are right along on board with me. And if you are on board, I'm gonna have it in the description below, a link to Beast of the Mesozoic Creative Beast Studio, so you can order your own. Mr. David Silva, you're a genius. I got to give you your flowers. Hopefully some peeps will come your way so they can get their own. He's got up now the entire Tyrannosaur series, all 3 waves, the Ceratopsian series. You can get that. And there are some of the Raptor series left in there, plus other little beauties that you can get for yourselves. So that's going to be in the description below. That's Creative Beast Studios. You can get at them directly, or you can get at him on Instagram as well. I'll have all of that in the description below. As far as that's also concerned, since you're down there, give a thumbs up to the video. Definitely subscribe if you haven't done so. And leave your comments on what you think about this amazing figure. Or it may not be amazing to you. Let me know what you think, or anything else you have a comment about. And hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload another video. On behalf of Daspy himself and I, Ruckosaurus Rex, thanks guys. Take care.